Hello, I hope you're doing good. Today we're going to talk about why Swtor solo ranked literally just sucks in 7.0 and why it's very boring and not balanced, as well as the metas at the moment. So here's an example match of why I think this preseason and why this new season of 15 is going to be really boring and crap. So take a look at what classes are in this match right here, for example. There are 4 Lethality operatives. And I know that everyone is playing Lethality operative in this match because that is literally the only viable DPS spec at the moment in PvP. Concealment single target is almost the exact same as Lethality. And Lethality is the AoE version. So Lethality not only pretty much has the same amount of damage as Concealment, but it also has the ability to AoE and have free casted off healing, which is a lot of off healing, I might add. So in this matchup, I went AoE spec because there's 4 melee targets, and that will give me the best chance. I wasn't able to push anybody off in the opener, unfortunately, because, they all have stealth, but I did get it a little bit later. Unfortunately, already by that time, AoE specs have already nuked my health completely. So people that aren't even playing Concealment have already nuked all of my health, literally immediately. And if I was a different class, maybe Operative or Marauder, I could just go Stealth out and heal to full once I break combat. Or I could just continuously kite if I was a Marauder with Devil Splice Genes. But unfortunately, I cannot do that. Many other classes cannot do that either. And that's just how it is at the moment in DPS all matches. Now, if there was a tank and healer, this would have gone a lot differently. Unfortunately, this is the way the game is being played at the moment. So, Fury Marauder and Lethality Operative is almost all I see in matches currently. And it is completely boring. Literally so boring. I mean, come on. Anybody can play these 2 specs, and I see it all the time. I rarely ever see anything else. I see people reroll to these 2 specs like literally every week, and it is sad to me that this is the way the game is at the moment. Now, don't give up hope quite yet. You can still win as a Vengeance Juggernaut if you have a solid team. So now we're going to look at how you win with a solid team. So here's a match where we just won the round by chasing these Marauders. In this match, there are 3 Marauders and an Assassin on the other team, where my team has 2 Operatives, a Fury Marauder, and myself, a Venge Jug. The reason why we won that, other than crazy is using Annihilation and trying to be different for no reason, is they chased. These guys on my team chased. That is the only way we can win. Devil Splice Genes is really, really good on Marauder, but if you actually chase the targets so that they can't heal to full, you have a much better chance. But it's really tough. So most classes like myself have a really tough time actually getting a chance when we have these classes like that. Let's see if I can... No, I cannot. Awesome. Can I? I'm gonna use my ET. Stun in there. And I am dead. So the only chance these guys have is to chase these low targets. This guy is super low and he still has a couple dots on him, but then he just used his Devil Splice Genes double camo, so now it's going to be tough to chase him. This guy's also super low, but then he used his double camo again. see. So this guy is now healing. Someone better go interrupt him, hopefully, otherwise he'll heal to full. He did get interrupted. That was awesome. This guy is still in combat as well. That's awesome. Looks like Prodigy is okay. And then Crazy Guy just lost a 1v1 for literally no reason, even though I know he's using Devil Spice Jeans. Don't know why he's just throwing like that, but okay. Yeah, so the only way you can really win against compositions like this is either A, you chase the marauders, or B, you have more AoE than them. So my team actually has a substantial amount of AoE. We've got myself and these two lethality operatives that are trying to off-heal me a little bit and do a lot of AoE damage. And then this guy is a Fury Marauder, so he doesn't have as much AoE, but he still has Fury Burst, which is quite helpful. Because if he is putting a lot of single target pressure out, that is more camo and less uptime the other people have to attack me, which is their target, because I'm the only one in this match that can't really get away. Some people might say, yeah, you can kite, but I mean, they have 3 predations where I have only 1. And they also have a lot of ruts and stuns from this deception sim. So that's just not going to happen. Some people might say, yeah, we'll use Nimble Master. This one isn't very good because it doesn't give you immunity to slows, in 6.0. In 7.0, it doesn't do that. In 6.0 it did, but 7.0 it doesn't. So any type of slow makes this movement speed boost very, very not even noticeable. So I just don't see a point running that. So that's how you win. Now, Fury, Marauder, Lethality Operative are definitely the best 2 specs right now in solo ranked. Now, if there is a solo ranked match where there's healers or tanks, that completely changes up how the match is played and what happens during that round. But most of the time it is 4 DPS versus 4 DPS, and that is why Lethality and Fury are so good. But let's talk about what other classes like Juggernaut, Power Tech, Mercenary, Sniper, and Sork can do to have a better chance. There is really only one thing that can help you and become a Holy Mary lifesaver, and that is Life Warden. This tactical does have a 10-minute cooldown, and you can still get bursted when you are below 20% health immediately by some auto crits or a very well-timed burst from something like Plague Master on Madness. So there's no guarantee that this is going to save you, but if it actually triggers and you're able to not get bursted by doing some type of Carbonize or a Mad Dash when you're low, maybe something like a grenade when you are low to make this actually work, then it can help a lot. So Operative, Marauder, these guys aren't going to use Life Warden because then they can't actually use Devil Spice Jeans, or they're tactical that actually makes them have numbers. So this is the only thing that can really put you up to those other classes. And if you don't use that, you're at a serious disadvantage. Now, not all servers actually have good PvPers. So sometimes it isn't really a problem on other servers like EU. EU, I heard there's actually more variety of classes, unlike Starforge. And not everyone is a serious try-hard Fury Marauder or Lethality Operative. So I guess if you're on a server, or maybe you're on a time frame on here, where there isn't a whole lot of flavor of the month classes like Fury Marauder and Lethality Operative, then you actually might have a better chance when playing some other type of class. But in general, the sweatiest matches you'll see are the ones that we just looked at. So it's really not looking too good, in my opinion, for non-rat classes. But if you do want to have a better chance as those non-rat classes, you need to take Life Warden with you in your inventory and actually use that, because this will help you win. You can still die during this though, so it's not guaranteed, but that is going to help a lot. Now, before I forget, Deception Assassin and Concealment Operative are both fine. They are not at a disadvantage like the non-stealth classes. They have big burst, and people that play them well, you're never going to complain that they're on your team. So they're completely fine. But the other classes that don't have stealth are at a serious disadvantage right now, and that's just how the game is. Lethality is just more common than Concealment because it is just a little bit better. But Concealment can have that more like instantaneous type of damage, which can help kill someone right away or force them out right away. However, in a sustained game, Lethality will just have more numbers than Concealment. So that's why people play that more often. And I mean like quite a bit more numbers than Concealment. But overall, it's a fine spec.